Hello, it's Christy Gray, your newest hype girl and astrologer. Welcome to the Cosmic Hotline.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode on the Cosmic Hotline. And this episode is a little bit late. I'm very aware of that. I am still in Bali. I am definitely running on Bali time momentarily. And I cannot believe I've only got a week left. A month has just flown by. And there's so much that I need to share with you. But I'm going to leave it for now because I've still got some things percolating under the surface. And I want to dive into Gemini season with you because the most beautiful thing I can share with you this week, babes, is that the energy is changing. It's lightening up. You've probably felt it already with the sun moving into Gemini, but we're kind of out of that heavy, energetic nature of eclipse season. We're just navigating through the tail end of the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And so whatever you've been navigating over the last few weeks, just know that things are starting to lighten. And as much as I love Taurus season is such a vibe because it allows us to really luxuriate in our life. Gemini season brings with it some spunk, some fun, some flirty energy, and that is definitely the energy that I'm here for. So what I thought I would do in this week's episode is give you the 411 on Gemini, because even if you're not a Gemini sun, or maybe you don't have Gemini placements in your natal chart, one thing that you will take away from this is that Gemini season and the energy that we're surrounded by right now, it well and truly affects us all. And so what I thought I would do is give you all of these different Gemini aspects to consider and percolate on. And you can think about how you want to integrate them into your life over the next few months. What I will say is that Gemini is a mutable air sign. Our mutable signs are adaptable to change. They represent versatility, adaptability, and as Gemini is an air sign, I call it as an archetype, the skillful. Air signs are really cerebral. They are the intellects of the zodiac. Now, every single zodiac sign gets a bad rap. Gemini gets a bad rap for, being two-faced, or it's representative of the twins in astrology. What I would say is that one thing Gemini is really good at is knowing when something is past its expiry date, meaning they tend to leave people breathless because they're always moving on to the next thing. But the beautiful thing is, and we can all learn this about Gemini energy, my North Node is in Gemini. I'm actually here to really embrace this energy in this lifetime, is that knowing that you are allowed to change your mind. Gemini is so good at teaching us this. Just because you believe something yesterday doesn't mean that you need to believe it tomorrow. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to embrace something that maybe you let go of and you want to revisit, or maybe there's something new on the horizon you want to embark on. This is the beautiful thing. So as I mentioned before, Gemini is symbolized by the twins. And there is this real dual nature of Gemini. It represents a multifaceted personality. And what that can do is show up and manifest in Gemini's thoughts, their communication style, and their relationships. But it's more so the lesson we can take from this is how do we embrace both sides of oneself, or how do we embrace different parts of who we are? One thing I think Gemini is very good at is this remarkable ability to see multiple perspectives, almost holding different views at once, which is quite different from a lot of the other zodiac signs that can be very black and white in their thinking and their communication style. But Gemini very much speaks into the adaptability to connect with a wide range of different people and navigate different social situations with ease. And so how you could really look at embracing this energy this season is by journaling. journaling or doing some self-reflection exercises where you can explore your different viewpoints or get curious. So one of the things I'll share with you is I've been exploring. So since coming to Bali, and I probably alluded to a little bit of it last week, is that I have started to really second guess, right, different aspects of my life that maybe weren't working before, right? Because at any time you go on holiday or you give yourself some breathing space, you can seek a new perspective. And so every little intuitive hit that's been coming up for me, say for instance, one of the things I'm going to maybe look at exploring longer term is, okay, what would it look like to spend X amount of time each year in a different country? When those little thoughts come up, I get curious and I go, okay, why is this coming up for me? Why could I not integrate that into my life? What's stopping me or what's holding me back from that? Just getting curious, because Gemini is the freedom loving sign of the zodiac. It represents curiosity. How can you ignite some of that in your life? Now, the other point I mentioned before is this versatility and adaptability. That's something Gemini is absolutely known for. They have this amazing ability to be able to transition between different interests, hobbies, and social circles, as I mentioned before. It's because they are incredibly adept at thinking on their feet. They're great problem solvers. I always say like Gemini has the gift of the gab. And even this isn't just Gemini sun. When I cast a natal chart, I'm connecting with someone for the first time. They have like strong Gemini energy or a Gemini moon. I'm like, oh, they're going to be a vibe. We're going to have good conversation today. So if you are wanting to embrace that versatility and adaptability, is think about ways you can apply that to your own life. Is there an opportunity for you to learn a new hobby? Do you want to take a chance on how you dress? Is there some sort of social activity you've never considered or you want to embrace? How can you welcome more exciting experiences into your life? Now, I don't want to kind of spend too much time on this key point because I know we've spoken a lot about it on the Cosmic Hotline, but I do need to highlight it because it represents Gemini. But Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So it's all about self-expression and how you articulate yourself. How do you form connections within your relationships? And, if there is an opportunity to focus on communication this month, whether that be through connecting with your friends, whether that's through writing, whether that's for yourself or something that's in more of a public forum, I would absolutely invite you to do so that you can form more meaningful connections, whether it's with yourself or other people. Geminis are incredibly curious. They do represent the intellect and they have this insatiable quest and thirst for knowledge. Now, because Gemini is opposite Sagittarius, Sagittarius represents higher education. It's deep dive immersion when it comes to knowledge, whereas Gemini is the opposite. It's about spreading ideas and exchanging information. So what I would say for you is look at ways in your life where you can feel inspired, but you don't actually have to commit to anything. So whether that's reading a book, right? I'm such an avid reader, but one of the things I realized, I think it was over the last couple of years, is that if I read the first chapter, and for whatever reason, if I haven't read a great review or if there's no reason to keep me there, it's actually okay to go, you know what? I don't actually need to read this. And remove that from your reading list. Take the pressure off yourself. Look for articles, books, podcasts, things that will ignite your curiosity but expand your knowledge base this month. And don't be afraid to go, you know what? I don't think that's for me, but I've always been thinking about it. I've made the effort to immerse myself in it, and I can just move on to the next thing. Low commitment. And do you know what? I think after Mercury retrograde, eclipse season, all of the spicy energy we've had in the cosmos, this is actually a breath of fresh air. Ignite fun and playfulness and curiosity in your life. Look, I'm all about manifestation and positive thinking and positive psychology and, looking for ways that you can step into your potential and your higher self. But sometimes it's just okay to call it a day and go and do something fun for yourself. That's really what this season is all about. So go and meet some new people, strike up some new conversations, forge some new connections, and just have a little bit of fun. Now, that kind of leads into my next point, which is embracing change, because Gemini season is all about embracing change and transformation. It's about taking risks and adapting to new circumstances. Taurus season is all about mastery and actually going, you know what, I'm declaring this to the universe. I'm going to go out and make it happen. Whereas now it's going, okay, what did I learn in Taurus season? What's working for me? But what's something that I need to adapt to? How can I be more flexible in my approach? What areas of my life am I being resistant to change? And how can you take some small steps to embrace more change in your life? And how can you trust in your ability to adapt and to grow? Because this is very much about how you navigate transitions with grace and resilience and adjust to new circumstances too. So don't be afraid to go out and seize the day, however that looks to you. And the last thing that I wanted to highlight was creative expression, because I've talked a little bit about creativity on the podcast. It's probably something I have more conversations with the clients I connect with, because I feel very lucky that I connect with a diverse range of people. And creativity is also so different for everyone. It's not becoming the next Picasso. Creativity can come in so many different forms. But what I would say is that use your imagination this month. I think that Gemini teaches us to think outside the box and to really harness a refreshing perspective and become the innovative creators of our lives. And so, if there's anything that you have felt is a creative activity that maybe you've picked up in the past, that you've let go of, or maybe there's something new that you want to embark on, whether that's painting or writing or dancing, or I don't know, maybe you want to learn a musical instrument. It's all about how can you ignite passion and joy? What's something that you can maybe do this month? So I hope by just giving you some ideas today that I've got the cogs turning for you, because that's really what today's episode is all about. We really don't have anything huge that you need to take note of this week, which is actually really nice. Look, to be honest, we've got a couple of hard aspects, but there's nothing essentially for you to worry about this week. The week kicks off with Mars squaring Jupiter. We've got Sun squaring Saturn this week for a hot minute. But I don't want that to stop you from living your best life. It's all about looking for things that will pique your interest. Get curious and ask more questions, whether that's with yourself, whether that's with your loved ones, or whether that's just about life. We're still kind of navigating the hangover period of the last few weeks anyway, so it's probably a beautiful opportunity for you to catch your breath. This is my last week in Bali. So crazy. It's gone so quick. A month has just flown by. I've had so many beautiful DMs from so many of you asking about Bali, giving me insights of what you thought of the last episode. And I think one of the biggest things that I have had a realization about is I've been trying to do so many different things and I've been jam-packing my schedule. I'm definitely going to be sharing more with you. What I have been doing is I have been peeling back the layers of the onion, which is my business, and looking at ways of how I can do things differently and how I can spend more time doing the things that I love. And so I have so many updates to share with you, but I am my lips are sealed for now. And I am so excited because I will be back in Australia next week. There is a special offer for Gemini season. If you have been wanting to dive in and get your stars read, AKA have an astrology session with me and actually start to explore your natal chart, whether that is exploring who you are and who you've come here to be, or whether that's exploring what's coming up for you on the horizon, there is a very, very special offer, which you will find on Instagram, or if you're subscribed to AstroDose, it hit your email inboxes last week, where I will be sharing a little bit of an astro strategy update for anybody that books in for the month of Gemini season. So if you are curious and want to know more and you can't find the post, or you want to get the tea from me, send me an email at hello@christygray.com and I will answer all of your questions. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back next week. But until then, keep exploring the stars within and without, babes.